Add on to that, President Biden has tested positive for COVID. He had 2 earlier bouts with COVID, 2 different times in the summer of 2022. He had a primary case and then a rebound case. ABC 7 News reporter J.R. Stone is here in studio with more on this uptick that we are seeing across the country, J.R.
We're certainly seeing an uptick, but doctors I spoke with believe a combination of a few things are helping in that fight. One is that many people have been infected before. 2, many have had their vaccinations. And 3, there's a belief that these variants might not be as strong as we have seen in the past. Nevertheless, the president now has COVID.
President Joe Biden slowly making his way off Air Force One in Delaware Wednesday night. This is one of the first images of the president we've seen since confirmation came in that he tested positive for COVID-19.
So I think Biden being sick is a big deal, but I don't think he's going to suffer any real consequences from this because it is a manageable disease, even in the older population.
That's Stanford's Dr. Yvonne Maldonado, who says rest is key for someone who has tested positive for COVID. The president's press secretary says Biden will self-isolate in the days to come. He did eventually put a mask on after getting into his awaiting SUV. Biden's medical team says he has been vaccinated and has all of his current annual booster doses. Maldonado says that is important.
I think he will be fine in the short and long term from this disease, but it's a real warning that we just need to be careful.
The 81-year-old Biden has received his first dose of Paxlovid, according to his doctor, who noted that the president's respiratory rate, temperature, and pulse oximetry are normal. Dr. Davy Smith of UC San Diego Health was involved in a 2022 study on Paxlovid.
It is specifically good for people who are older, so over the age of 65. The sooner that you start on that antiviral medication, the better. So we try to get it within at least within 3 days of symptoms.
This map of America shows the amount of COVID viral activity in wastewater. The darker the state, the higher amount of COVID activity. Maldonado, though, cautions about looking too far into this.
We know that there's a lot of disease out there, but we're not seeing a lot of hospitalizations. They're up a little bit, but we're not seeing high levels of hospitalizations, and the death rate is still less than 1%. So I think we're in a good place.
Dr. Smith's study examined what is called Paxlovid rebound. He says when it comes down to it, 10 to 20% of those that take Paxlovid still get symptoms after they stop taking the drug 5 days later. Despite that, he believes that this drug does the job in preventing severe cases of COVID-19. J.R. Stone, ABC 7 News.